Turn to M3 and Karen B for this week's episode of Comply on the Fly. You'll get quick and timely answers to the most common employee benefits compliance questions so you and your business can keep moving ahead. Please note this podcast and the contents herein do not constitute legal advice. Please seek the advice of counsel for any benefit compliance-related implementation, guidance, or strategy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Karen B. And the Comply on the Fly question of the week is, can a new employee take federal FMLA to bond with a child following birth or placement for adoption if the employee has not been employed for a year? This can be a tricky question and will require you to know the employee's date of hire and the date of the child's birth or placement for adoption. First, let's tackle the hire date. Why is this important? Because the definition of an eligible employee under federal FMLA is an employee that works for a covered employee, has worked for the employer for a total of at least 12 months, which need not be consecutive, but at least over the last 7 years, and has worked for the employer at least 1,250 hours over the previous 12 months. Now, remember, in order to be an eligible employee, they also have to meet the criteria that the employee is employed at a worksite where 50 or more employees are employed by you as the employer within a 75-mile radius of that worksite. But back to our question. Let's say that the employee meets all criteria except for being employed for 12 months. You are correct at that point to decline the request. But what if the employee comes back after their 12-month work anniversary and again requests bonding leave? Well, then we must look at the requirement for bonding leave, which is that the FMLA leave must be taken within 1 year of the birth or placement for adoption. So if this employee meets eligibility criteria before the first birthday or 1 year adoption anniversary of the child, federal FMLA is available. It's probably helpful to have an example. So let's say that you have an employee, Michael, and he's hired by you on October 1st of 2021, and a child is born on April 2nd, 2022. At the time of the birth, Michael has not been with the company for 12 months and probably has not put in 1,250 hours. But for the birth of a child, he has 1 year, or in this case until April 1st of 2023, to take federal FMLA. He achieves eligible employee status on October 1st, 2022, which is the year anniversary of his hire date, and has put in the required number of hours. This means he's able to take FMLA leave for the birth of the child anywhere from October 1st of 2022 until that first birthday date, which is April 2nd, 2023. A few important reminders. You will also want to check any applicable state leave law requirements. And answers to FMLA eligibility questions are always very fact-specific. So please remember to keep your own FMLA policy and additional employer leave policies in mind as well. And that is your Comply on the Fly question of the week. Thanks for tuning in.
What's on your mind? If you have a pressing compliance question, send it to askkarenb@m3ins.com. We'll do our best to cover it in an upcoming episode. You can now follow and subscribe to Comply on the Fly on Spotify, iTunes, and Google Podcasts. Make sure to tune in next week and encourage others to join us.